the one record we have of Baartman's speech, the one word that we know that she actually said, was when Cuvier asked Baartman if he could examine her clitoris. She told him no. After Baartman died in 1815, Cuvier touched her clitoris anyway. He dissected her and put her genitals on display, and had wax models created to be presented across France. And Cloquet, of course, drew her in his atlas that became a standard for French medical students of the period. With Cloquet's plates of her alongside white women's genitals, the purpose of Baartman was to exhibit the monstrous nature of African women, that somehow their genitalia made them more lascivious in nature than their white European counterparts. Now, what this has to do with Lister is that she too was obsessed with Sarah Baartman. Before her studies, even with Cuvier, the first time Lister went to the Jardin des Plantes, she sought out the skeleton of Baartman, which had been put on display amongst the animal preparations there. And while the medical tracts that Lister read weren't super clear about where the clitoris was, they almost all referenced the Hottentots or African tribes to describe the clitoris as the source of these women's overt sexuality, establishing the theory that if a woman has a large sexual appetite, she most likely had a large clit and was thus more savage, requiring female circumcision to keep her in line and civilize her. And it's this line of discourse that made me realize the source of Lister's confusion might have also been because of her obsession and subsequent identification with these African women, who were cast as overtly sexual lesbians like herself, as potentially hermaphroditic, which is something that stories of Anne Lister from her diaries have shown that she had also tried to lengthen her clitoris once she found where it was, in order to have it resemble a penis. And this made me also rethink how she might have engaged with Cheselden's anatomy, because the very next plate after the European woman's uterus is a plate on African hermaphrodite. And that this hermaphroditic illustration is also very unclear that the clitoris right here, if it is extending out of the mount of Venus or out of the vagina. It's confusing where the labia is, and so it could also make one think that the clitoris is deep inside the vagina rather than an external presentation.